One is psychologist, one is psychiatrist. More than half of the people think they are one and the same thing.
A psychologist is not a person who can prescribe medicines for you. Only a psychiatrist who can prescribe medicines for you.
एक केस पे एक psychologist और psychiatrist साथ-साथ काम करते हैं.
कर सकते हैं. Not necessarily all the time.
She is getting panic attack. इसको anxiety होती है. लेकिन I think उसका meaning हम में से कोई नहीं समझता.
Stress जो है ना, it's always a mismatch between resource and supply. What if I lose my job? What if the children don't come home? So basically, again, I would say that anxiety can be healthy and anxiety can be unhealthy. Panic attack, person feels that he's going to have a heart attack or a cardiac arrest and die. And they become paralyzed about the whole thing. Today, a lot of जो actual clinical terms है, or let us say something really academic terms है, it has come into the normal usage of people. Words से आप जो कर सकते हैं ना, the violence that you can create with words will last for a lifetime.
क्या मैं toxic relationship में हूँ? Is my parent toxic? Is my friend toxic? ये toxic word को आप कैसे समझाएंगे to the people who are listening? आप किसी की भी feelings को hurt करके चलते बनते हैं.
Yeah, sarcasm is something like being very acidic about it, right? Your tongue is so acidic, wow. Right? In many situations, many counselors have their own counselors too.
Counselors need counselors.
Today's children more lonelier than ever before, I would say yes. So there's a lot of difference between talking to your human being and talking to your machine.
Jokes भी बनते हैं, you know, कि थप्पड़ पड़ जाते थे, जूते से माँ मार रही है, इस पे jokes बना, reels बन रहे हैं. People are laughing about it. I've recently come across a case जहाँ एक बच्चा abusive language use करता है and his parent is saying कि he's not the only one, बाकी बच्चे भी तो करते हैं. क्या expectations kill कर सकता है एक relationship को? ऐसा क्या रीज़न है कि बच्चे अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बात करना बंद कर देते हैं?
Their conversation with their children is just giving instructions and directions.
पेरेंट्स अपना बचपन थोपते हैं अपने बच्चों पे. जय हिंद एवरीवन, मैं हूं कैप्टन अमृत और आप देख रहे हैं शी स्लेज वेयर करेज मीट्स कॉन्वर्सेशन. आज का एपिसोड हर उस इंसान के लिए है जो कभी ना कभी स्ट्रेस, एंग्जाइटी, ओवरथिंकिंग, रिलेशनशिप इश्यूज, पेरेंटिंग इश्यूज या लाइफ के किसी ना किसी इमोशनल चैलेंज से गुजरा है. क्योंकि मेंटल हेल्थ सिर्फ किसी इलनेस का नाम नहीं है, ये हम सब की एवरीडे लाइफ का हिस्सा है. आज मेरे साथ स्टूडियो में हैं मिस्टर श्रीधर मांड्याम, जो कि फाउंडर डायरेक्टर हैं डार्विन साइकोलॉजी सेंटर के, एक काउंसलर हैं, ट्रेनर हैं और साइकोलॉजी एजुकेटर भी. इनकी जर्नी काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग रही है. साइंस से शुरुआत हुई, उसके बाद फाइनेंस में इन्होंने MBA किया, बैंकिंग और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में सालों का एक्सपीरियंस लिया और फिर 3 दशक बाद साइकोलॉजी में मास्टर्स करके पूरी तरह काउंसलिंग और ह्यूमन बिहेवियर को समझने और समझाने का सफ़र शुरू किया. आज हम इनसे सिर्फ साइकोलॉजी की थियोरीज़ की बात नहीं करेंगे, हम बात करेंगे रियल लाइफ की, पेरेंट्स और टीनेजर्स की, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स की, रिलेशनशिप्स की, इमोशंस, एंगर, सोशल मीडिया, लोनलीनेस, क्राइम, सुइसाइड, सेल्फ एस्टीम, हैप्पीनेस और उन सवालों की जो शायद हम सबके दिमाग में कभी ना कभी ज़रूर आए होंगे. तो बिना किसी देरी के चलिए शुरू करते हैं एक बहुत ही इंसाइटफुल कॉन्वर्सेशन. मिस्टर श्रीधर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर स्पेयरिंग टाइम. वेलकम टू शी स्लेज. एंड आपने आज टाइम निकाला जस्ट टू कम टू आवर स्टूडियो एंड टॉक टू अस अबाउट अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, एंड दैट इज़ साइकोलॉजी. आप एक काउंसलर हैं और साइकोलॉजी के ऊपर आप क्लासेस लेते हैं. यू टीच, यू ट्रेन द ट्रेनर्स एंड यू ऑल्सो टीच जनरल पब्लिक अबाउट वेरियस टॉपिक्स ऑफ साइकोलॉजी. सो आज मैं आपसे साइकोलॉजी के बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स के ऊपर बात करना चाहूँगी. बट सबसे पहले माई वन क्वेश्चन दैट आई वांटेड टू आस्क यू वाज कि आपका जो प्रोफाइल था, इट वाज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. आप साइंस से फाइनेंस में गए, फाइनेंस से एंड यू केम टू साइकोलॉजी, एंड एट एन एज जहाँ प्रॉबली नॉर्मल इंसान डरेगा टू चेंज फील्ड्स, एंड यू टुक द लीप इनटू साइकोलॉजी, इनटू काउंसलिंग. So was it a calling or anything that happened? अचानक से आप इस फील्ड में आए. Talk a little about आपकी journey, please.
Sure. Thanks, Amrit, for inviting
Pleasure.
me for this podcast.
Pleasure.
I started my career, if I can say, as a banker. I completed my MBA in finance in 1988, right? And then I joined a bank, worked there for 4 years, and then quit that bank job because I didn't like it much. I teamed up with friends and then we started working on different things. You know, we set up a housekeeping company, we went into book publishing, we went into retail, and then finally in 2000, when the online education started, you know, the internet boom took off, we said, why don't we get into the online education part of it? So we looked around for people who were running classroom courses and we decided to put it on the online format for them. So in that way, I came across Banjara Academy, right, one of the places where counseling is being taught, and we decided to put their course online for them. So at the same time, I decided to join their course in counseling, the basic skill course in counseling there. And once I got interested in that, there was no looking back after that. So I worked there for a few years with them, and then when COVID started, I set up my own company called Darwin Psychology Center. And one of the first courses that we launched was grief counseling, you know, and it was very much of a need of the hour in times of COVID when lots of people were going through bereavement. So we said, why don't we train people, especially the counselors, how to handle clients who come with bereavement issues. So it started off that, and then we went into other short-term courses like student counseling, marriage counseling, career counseling, life skill training, so many other courses.
It's a very diverse field actually. So very interesting point you made about COVID. मेरे को एक ध्यान आया बात. They say that दो तरह के वर्ल्ड एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, वन बिफोर कोविड एंड वन आफ्टर कोविड. कोविड ने बहुत सारी चीज़ें इंसान में चेंज कर दी. We started living more suddenly. We started, going on vacations more, spending more time. But I believe in 6 years we are rounding back to pre-COVID era.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
No, I totally agree with you that there's something like a pre-COVID and a post-COVID, if I can say, change in the way people operated. Right? Again, if you look at the work from home culture, it was not existing pre-COVID.
We couldn't believe it happened.
We couldn't believe it happened. And once it happened, now people don't want to go back to office to work.
So true.
Right? And if you look at what we call as the COVID babies, those who were born in the COVID time, or those who joined school during the COVID times, the school started by being online schools.
Yeah.
Right? Children need social interactions. Children need hands-on learning and hands-on teaching, face-to-face teaching. And that gap that came in the COVID, the children who joined the school, or even those who were already in school and then 2 years of not going to school, that knowledge gap, till now it has not been bridged.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do you get any cases of such kind जो affect हुए हैं COVID के time पे जिसका impact अब आपको दिख रहा हो?
It is in the long-term thing, we could see that, their academic thing, or there was a gap in the understanding of the concepts, they did not understand something. It's like, you go, let us say you are being taught percentages, right? If you need to know percentages, you need to know addition and multiplication, right? If you don't know that, how do you learn percentages? I'm just giving a simple idea, but what I'm essentially saying is, knowledge is always built on the old knowledge, right? That's how you connect to that, laddering, like, okay, you've done this, you go to the next step, you go to the next step. But here, because of the COVID thing, there was a lot of gap in that thing, and children did suffer. Of course, many of them did make up over a period of time with extra tuitions and stuff like that. That impact was always there for them.
So, मेरे को एक question बहुत intrigue करता है. दो words हैं जो बहुत commonly हम side by side use करते हैं. One is psychologist, one is psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I think अभी भी more than half of the people think they are one and the same thing. Yeah. For the benefit of our audience, आप बता सकते हैं कि psychologist and psychiatrist, इनमें main अंतर क्या है? What is the main difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Absolutely. See, when we look at a psychiatrist is a person who has done his 5 years of MBBS and then 2 years of MD in psychiatric medicine, right? So 7 years of intense thing they have put it up in the medical field. Right? A psychologist on the other hand, is somebody who has done his master's or a PhD in psychology itself. A psychologist is not a person who can prescribe medicines for you.
I see.
It's only a psychiatrist who can prescribe medicines for you.
Okay.
And generally speaking, psychologists and psychiatrists tend to work hand in hand. For instance, if I'm the counseling psychologist, right? So if I get people, I'm talking to them, and I find that this person would benefit with a little of medication, right? Either their anxiety levels are too high, or I find that, this person is going through a lot of depression. And I find that, this person could be helped by a little bit of medication. Then I suggest a psychiatric reference to them. I say, why don't you go and talk to a psychiatrist and take some medication? Or for instance, you're not able to sleep for some time.
So मतलब एक केस पे एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट और साइकेट्रिस्ट साथ काम करते हैं.
कर सकते हैं. Not necessarily all the time.
Okay.
If it is intense, then if the medication is needed, yes, we do that. And even what psychiatrists do is, while they prescribe medication, they also suggest to them to talk to somebody as a therapist. Therapist can spend an hour with you. Normally speaking, when we look at counseling sessions and all we conduct, we spend 1 hour with our clients. A psychiatrist doesn't spend 1 hour with your client, right? He spends 5-10 minutes, then he prescribes the medicine and he says, go and talk to a therapist or a psychologist, no, with whom you can understand the root
फर्क
cause.
है? Therapist, counselor, are they different people?
These things can be used interchangeably, therapist or a psychologist, psychotherapist. All these words are used interchangeably. There's not much of a difference in them. But psychiatrist is a person who can prescribe medicines. Nobody else can prescribe medicines for you.
So it's like a clinically जो approve कर सकते हैं medicines, they are psychiatrists, and जो psychologists हैं वो like we sit across and talk our heart out.
Yeah, basically we talk.
जैसे हम movies में देखते हैं कि it's
Absolutely.
mostly prevalent in movies and series where we watch this.
Absolutely. See, basically a psychologist will help you to understand the root cause of your issues, right? While medicine helps you to address the symptoms for it, right? The root cause क्या है? For that you need somebody to talk to, help you
Like
to.
mental health जो है उसको
Absolutely.
उसके बारे में.
Absolutely.
एक बात बताइए श्रीधर कि अगर मुझे डायबिटीज़ होता है, if I have a lung disease, if I have say cancer, and I go up to a doctor, I am never judged. मुझे कोई जज नहीं करेगा. They'll be like, अरे इसको lung cancer हो गया है या maybe she has a problem with her kidney or whatever, and I'm going to a doctor. It is seen with sympathy. I'm given care. But जब किसी को mental health issue होता है and he or she walks up to the door of a psychologist or a psychiatrist, उस इंसान को इतना जज क्यों किया जाता है?
There's a lot of stigma attached to mental health issues.
Why?
One of the reasons I can think of is it really scares people. Right? It really scares people when you do not understand what it is. See, today we can give 100 different disorders. I mean, if you look at the DSM, we list 250 odd disorders are listed there. But if you look at one general term that is used for everybody, pagal hai. Right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and the word pagal is used in a casual sense, right? I mean, even if you do something excellent, wo to pagal hai, aise kar leta hai wo.
Loosely used.
Right? Loosely used. So, when we look at why people hesitate, because they think that, if this is not functioning, then, it scares people really badly. That, we don't understand. We are always scared by things we also don't understand at all. And the moment we feel like, this is not normal kind of a behavior, we really get scared about the whole thing. And that puts us off now that we don't even want to know what it is. It's a dark area we don't want to visit.
Do you think everybody in family wants just normal people? क्या हमारे परिवार वाले घर में सिर्फ एक नॉर्मलसी देखना चाहते हैं? जैसे ही कुछ एबनॉर्मल किसी के बिहेवियर में दिखाई देता है, he or she is taunted, given remarks, and to an extent उसको ऐसे ऐसे वर्ड्स यूज़ किए जाते हैं, उसके कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल पे डायरेक्ट अटैक हो जाता है.
Absolutely.
वाई ऐसा क्यों है श्रीधर कि हम मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में ओपनली बात नहीं कर पाते हैं? और अभी भी आई थिंक थैंक्स टू सोशल मीडिया कि इन टॉपिक्स के बारे में डिस्कशन ओपनली होने लगी है.
Absolutely.
इस चीज़ को हम क्यों नॉर्मलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं एज अ सोसाइटी?
Again, when we say we are normalizing it, I would say that it is more in the urban areas. I mean, we always have to distinguish in a country like India, there is an urban area and there is a rural area. Right? In the urban area, maybe Bangalore, maybe Mumbai, maybe Delhi, there's still an openness to come to a therapy, and just again to take you back on that, before COVID, there was never any teenager approaching you directly for therapy. Yes. There were no men approaching you directly for therapy. Once COVID thing, one of the things you mentioned, pre-COVID, post-COVID, again in the post-COVID era, we have more men approaching directly for therapy. We've got more teenagers saying that,
it's a good thing, isn't it?
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's really a good thing, right? That the men are saying
They're
that, I just
able to
want
come and talk about their mental issues.
And they don't think it is wrong, right? It's not wrong. What are you doing? You're just going and venting it out with somebody. You're trying to figure out your sense of maybe the perspective, right? So there's a psychologist who's sitting you, helping you to understand your perspectives. Where are your mental blocks? Is there a different way you can think about this? That's all we do, isn't it? We help them to clarify their own thinking. It's not like a psychologist doesn't have a magical wand where he can wave it and help you to deal with it. It's basically how can I help you to alter your thinking, which is more adaptive rather than being maladaptive.
How true. And एक common word जो हम बहुत often सुनते हैं attached to mental health, one is she's getting panic attack. इसको anxiety होती है. लेकिन I think उसका meaning हम में से कोई नहीं समझता. क्या आप बता सकते हैं anxiety, panic attack में क्या फ़र्क है? और and is it a medical issue and is it treatable?
So basically when I look at anxiety, if I can say, Again, we should try to distinguish between something like a stress and an anxiety in a small way.
Okay.
Stress जो है ना, it's always a mismatch between resource and supply आपके लिए. You want, let us say you want few lakhs for some medical emergency, you don't have that. So what you want and what you have mismatch हो गया, आपका stress बढ़ गया. You want 4 hours to complete a job, you got only 2 hours. There's a mismatch between resources, right? You got 2 hours to catch your flight, you're running around, will you catch, will you not catch? There's a stress around. So stress is always real life related, if I can say that.
Okay.
Right? Anxiety is always about an imaginary fear. So anxiety is something that can be learned to be handled, right? By pulling yourself back into the present moment. कुछ हुआ क्या अभी? कुछ नहीं हुआ ना? जब होगा तो जब देख लेंगे. Right? If there's something that's preventable, I would always say please think about it. Right? Anxiety is always about the future. Future में क्या होने वाला है? Right? So I'll always say that if this is preventable, please think about it. If it's not preventable, what are you doing by thinking about it? You're not going to solve it. When the situation actually comes, you will get the buddhi to do what you need to do at that point in time.
But does panic attack and anxiety, क्या ये थोड़ा सा अगर हम पीछे की तरफ चलें, किसी इंसान के बचपन की तरफ चलें, उसके जो बचपन में जो उसने लाइफ देखी है, जो उसने सिचुएशंस देखी हैं, या फिर कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट देखा है, क्या ये चीज़ें लीड कर सकती हैं टू अ पर्सन गेटिंग इनटू रेगुलर पैनिक अटैक्स एंड लीडिंग टू एंग्जाइटीज ऑफ any nature?
See, basically, again, I would say that anxiety can be healthy and anxiety can be unhealthy. Right? Healthy anxiety का मतलब क्या है? अभी some parents come and tell me ना, वो बच्चों के एग्जाम्स चल रहे हैं, he is becoming very anxious. And I tell them, अच्छा है ना?
Commonly used word.
अच्छा है that he is becoming anxious. I would rather my child be anxious rather than be overconfident. Anxiety है तो he'll attend to it saying, अरे मैंने वो नहीं पढ़ा, ये नहीं पढ़ा है. तो anxiety that leads to growth, that leads to something coming out of it, nice things coming out of it. Any competition will lead you to anxiety, right? And those anxieties are healthy anxiety because at the end of it is something nice coming out
Like
of it.
stage fear?
Like stage fear. Stage fear is a good anxiety to have. Every time you want to go on a stage, it's good that you're feeling anxious because then you'll be better prepared, right? Whereas, and this is again what we call as an episodic anxiety, right?
Episodic anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Related to a
episode is
certain
over.
episode.
There's an episode going to happen, that's why you're anxious. Let's say tomorrow you have a party in your house. You have to arrange dinner for 20 people. Are you anxious? Of course you would be anxious if everything goes well. But the moment that event is over, your anxiety is over. Right? That's episodic anxiety. Situational anxiety, episodic anxiety. That's not a problem. The problem comes with chronic anxiety. Right? आप रोज anxious हो रहे हैं, आपको ये भी नहीं पता है कि आप क्यों anxious हो रहे हैं.
Why does that happen?
It is like overthinking on one hand, right? You're overthinking about things, right? And when we say that extreme anxiety is what panic attack is all about. Panic attack, person feels that he's going to have a heart attack or a cardiac arrest and die. And they become paralyzed about the whole thing. Breathlessness aa jata hai, right? You become breathless, you begin to feel actually an ache in your chest, right? Like something heavy on your chest, and you begin to think, I'm going to die. Yeah, this is an extreme level of anxiety, we call it as a panic attack.
But कुछ होता है इस टाइप का? Do they end up having a heart attack
Not
with the panic attack?
Not
or
necessarily. Like,
connected है ये?
Once they are taken to the medical thing and they just give them some medicines to help them to kind of breathe back again, or even if somebody can help them to relax and breathe at that point in time, then nothing much happens in that situation, generally speaking.
क्योंकि आजकल हम ये बहुत कॉमनली बच्चों के साथ associated सुनते हैं words. Anxiety, stress and panic attacks. छोटे छोटे बच्चे, they are leading lives with such kind of a thought in their mind. Do you think it's a pseudo thought that they are having? उनको सिर्फ कहीं से word सुननाई दे गया या किसी को बोलते हुए सुन लिया, you know? Does that lead to it, or do you think बच्चे आजकल सच में कुछ ऐसा झेल रहे हैं that they are going through this impact?
नहीं, मैं तो एक बात बताना चाहूँगा कि today a lot of जो actual clinical terms है, or let us say something really academic terms है, it has come into the normal usage of people. Things like panic attack, things like labeling people as toxic, like labeling everything as narcissistic. Right? कितने सुनते हैं आप? Suddenly you will find children talking saying my mom is toxic. Like, ये कहाँ से आ गया? I mean, such a young kid talking of toxicity of his parent or toxic, he's my toxic friend. It's like that's a buzzword that has got caught on. And everybody has begun to use everything like toxic, panic attack or narcissistic. Anybody who lies is labeled as narcissistic. Right? Anybody is a little abusive that gets labeled as narcissistic. So I would say that we should move with more caution about using these kind of words and not think that oh, this is really happening in that situation.
So अगर हमें now these words are technically existing and they do have a very deep rooted meaning as well.
Absolutely.
तो अगर हम for a second इस side आएँ उसके, तो रेड फ्लैग्स क्या हो सकते हैं अगर हम बात करें टॉक्सिसिटी की. लेट्स से इफ आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या मैं टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप में हूँ, इज माई पेरेंट टॉक्सिक, इज माई फ्रेंड टॉक्सिक. ये टॉक्सिक वर्ड को आप कैसे समझाएंगे टू द पीपल हु आर लिसनिंग टुडे, बिकॉज ये वर्ड सच में बहुत लूजली यूज हो रहा है आजकल.
Absolutely.
सो व्हाट आर द रेड फ्लैग्स ऑफ अ टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप?
I would say that if there's a physical abuse, firstly, right? If there's a lot of physical abuse, that is toxic. But every time your parents scold you, it's not a toxic thing, right? Parents have the right to scold you when you have done something wrong. Parents have the right to correct you when they have done something wrong. Parents have the right to teach you the consequences of your actions when you have done something wrong. They take away your privileges. That's not being toxic. Toxic is being where you're not allowed any kind of a freedom around you. You're being mentally abused. You're being physically abused, right? Then we can say, this thing has become it's gone a little over the top kind of a thing. Another word, again, when we talk of the same word, another word is depression. Every sadness is not depression, right? Okay. Depression का एक clinical usage होता है, but here the moment you're sad, I'm depressed, she's depressed. No, right? Can we start distinguishing between sadness and depression?
So we should say I'm sad.
I'm sad.
Not depressed.
Yeah, it's not depressed, right? Depression is a clinical term, but कॉमन यूसेज में आ गया तो बज़वर्ड हो गया कि चलो नार्सिसिस्टिक है, टॉक्सिक है, डिप्रेशन है.
बट श्रीधर, जैसे फिजिकल अब्यूज़ इज़ विजिबल, यू नो, अगर हमारे बाजू वाले घर में कोई फिजिकल अब्यूज़ हो रहा है तो हमें उसकी आवाज़ सुनाई देगी, मार पिटाई या कुछ. जो इमोशनल अब्यूज़ होता है किसी इंसान का, डू यू थिंक इमोशनल अब्यूज़ कैन बी वे अहेड ऑफ फिजिकल अब्यूज़ टू? Is it a abuse which can be bigger than a physical abuse?
Oh yes. See, basically if you look at physical abuse, I'm not discounting deep physical abuses, but I'm saying किसी ने किसी को थप्पड़ मार दिया, after some time it's over in that sense of the physical thing has healed. But words से आप जो कर सकते हैं ना, the violence that you can create with words will last for a lifetime. You can really put down a person using words. You can really cut them down to size using words. So sometimes I ask people, are you a violent person? They say, no, I'm not a violent person. I said, are you violent in your language?
And they are suddenly silent.
लगते हैं कि I'm a violent in my language. I said, there can be violence in your language. You may never have physically hit somebody or abuse somebody. But आप emotional अत्याचार तो कर सकते हैं ना. तो are you being violent in your emotions? Right? Or is your communication violent with others? Sarcasm and putting down and harsh words. And even if the words are not harsh, is your tone harsh? Right? Communication में तो tone बड़ा मायने रखता है ना.
How will you rate sarcasm? आप sarcasm को as a counselor कैसे देखते हैं? Because sarcasm बड़ा common हो गया, you know. आप किसी की भी feelings को hurt करके चलते बनते हैं. And you're not even bothered कि उस इंसान को कैसा लगा, क्या हुआ. लेकिन it can have a deep impact on you for years to come.
Absolutely.
As a counselor, आप sarcastic जो word है, sarcasm है, उसे आप कैसे देखते हैं?
Yeah, sarcasm is something like being very acidic about it, right? Your tongue is so acidic,
wow.
right? And sometimes जोक में भी घरों में चलता है ना कि कुछ सब्जी काटना है तो चाकू की क्या जरूरत है, आपकी जुबान तो है, काट लो.
छुरी की तरह जुबान चलती है, commonly used.
Isn't it? So being sarcastic, yeah, it can really hurt. But somewhere I also want us to distinguish between friends के साथ जो होता है ना, एक दूसरे के साथ leg pulling होता है ना, थोड़ी सी हंसी मजाक होता है. We kind of pull each other's leg at home in the family and all. Those are all normal behavior. Everything should not be labeled as sarcastic हो गए या तो we are trying to. Intention देखो ना, हमेशा when you want to judge somebody's thing, look at the intention. Did I want to kind of really hurt you, or was I just pulling your leg? Intention is a big thing, not to kind of judge. Don't judge only by my behavior. If you can understand my intention behind the behavior, you are one level higher, right? And वैसे हम दूसरों की intention जानना आसान नहीं होता है, लेकिन जब खुद को जज करने लगते हो आप, तो आपका intention से जज करो ना आप.
How
So
true.
you will be one level higher now, instead of judging yourself by your own behavior.
How true.
Because at least you know your intentions. Others don't know your intentions.
I think we know our intentions best.
Best, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So then you don't go into the thing of guilt tripping yourself, right? Otherwise, you are willing to kind of self-flagellate yourself, right? हमेशा एक whip रहता है कि खुद को मार लो, कुछ गलती हो गया तो एटलीस्ट आपके इंटेंशन से जज कर लो आप. Did I really mean like that, or my behavior turned out to be like that, or the result turned out to be like that? That's not what I intended. So judging ourselves by our intention is one level higher than judging ourselves by our own behavior.
How true. As a counselor, आप एक और वर्ड यूज होता है साइकोथेरेपी.
हाँ.
काउंसलिंग और साइकोथेरेपी, आर दे वन एंड द सेम या
one
कुछ
and the
इसमें कुछ फर्क है दोनों में?
Basically one and the same. Again, when we look at therapy, the basic thing is always talk therapy, right? Where we kind of give safe space for the person to talk, we be
Without judging.
non-judgmental, and we be empathetic to them, and we ask them the right questions to make them talk. So this is your basic therapy model that goes around, what we call as the Rogerian approach to therapy. अब उसके ऊपर आप कुछ भी build कर सकते हो, CBT, REBT, NLP, 100 different therapeutic
What are
models
these?
are there.
अच्छा, these are models.
These are models which you can bring in the techniques of those therapies into that.
I
So a
see.
psychotherapist is somebody who is generally a therapist by themselves.
बट एक बड़ा कॉमन एक थॉट दिमाग में आता है कि आप ऑन अ डेली बेसिस कितने इमोशंस आप रोज़ सुनते हैं. किसी का बहुत ज़्यादा अब्यूज़िव होगा, किसी का कम होगा, कुछ डिप्रेसिव होगा, एंग्जाइटी, किसी ने कुछ मर्डर देखा होगा, किसी ने कभी घर पे कुछ ऐसा देखा होगा जो शायद वो कभी भूल नहीं पा रहे. आप हज़ारों तरह के इमोशंस को रोज़ सुनते हैं और रोज़ उनको अपने अंदर लेते हैं. समवेयर इट गोज़ इनसाइड यू, डोंट यू नो, थ्रू योर ईयर्स इट इज़ गोइंग समवेयर इनसाइड, मे बी टू योर हार्ट और वेयरएवर. So do you think the counselors also sometime may need to vent out to somebody else about their feelings, or या आपके पास कोई एक टेक्निक होती है कि you can just cut it there and move on?
Yeah, it again, I think, depends upon the amount of experience you had in this field. Right? So even when we began early times, like the moment you hear stories are always dark, right? And you begin to think about them for days together. आप रात में सो रहे हैं तो उनके बारे में सोच रहे हैं, वो क्या हो गया, ऐसा क्यों हुआ? You're thinking about all that, and you're not able to separate yourself from your client's stories. But as you grow into the field, as you experience more and more into the field, you're able to create a sense of detachment and say, ये उनकी कहानी है या तो उनका situation है. I'm trying to help them. This is not my thing, right? So you're able to make a detachment. But then in many situations, many counselors have their own counselors too.
Counselors need counselors.
Some of the counselors do have their own counselors, not to go back and talk, but it's not essential for everyone. Not everybody needs that I have to go and talk to somebody. Some of us can manage things on our own, right? We are able to really detach ourselves from वो सेशन हो गया.
But long term में कुछ impact छोड़ता है ये over the years जब आप emotions को इतना ज़्यादा अंदर लेते हैं. Does it have any impact on the psychologists and psychiatrists in the long term?
I think it makes us more compassionate. It makes us more compassionate. It makes us, because we see such a wide variety of behavior around us, something which we don't see in our own circles, we see it in a bigger circle. So it makes us more compassionate towards people, understand people in a more healthier manner, and not really get upset by people around you.
क्योंकि as a subject, psychology is now given in the school level also. Psychology is being taken up by children as a subject. So how would you rate this being a psychologist? जो psychology field है, अगर किसी बच्चे के लिए, अगर you may like to just speak a few lines, psychology as a subject and as a futuristic thing, क्या लगता है आपको कि आने वाले समय में we need more psychologists with the type of times that we are dealing with and what we are moving into?
Absolutely. See, basically, again, when I look at the world, the way it is headed, I can see that there's a greater amount of loneliness in this world.
How true.
Right? Although we are all more and more connected with our mobile phones, 24/7 आप connected है लोगों के साथ, but फिर भी अकेले हैं. And that loneliness has begun to hit because of various things. For instance, the family sizes have shrunk. If I look at my own family, I have 32 cousins on my mother's side alone. How many people can say that? Today, most of the children have just one cousin, two cousins.
Yes.
Right? And उसमें से 2 लोग बाहर हैं, देश के बाहर हैं, तो यहाँ पे cousins भी नहीं हैं. And siblings, तो most of the today's children have just one sibling.
Absolutely.
Right? Or not even that. So when you look at it, children are more lonelier today. Today you do not really have playgrounds for them to go and play around and physically things. So पूरा screen पे हो गया ना आजकल. So are today's children more lonelier than ever before? I would say yes. And does it mean that we will need more people into the field of psychology and counseling? I would say yes, definitely. This is something that AI can't easily replace. Although even today, I know of many people who just go to
They talk emotions with AI.
with the AI, and get a
Yes,
response for that. But
yes.
then that AI is just going to give you exactly what you want to hear.
How
It's
true.
an echo chamber, right? You say
Yeah.
that this thing, it will always praise you. It will say,
Yeah.
wonderful question you asked, such a sensitive person, this, that.
Yes.
You will feel very good about it. But does it really help you to change?
So
Does it
AI
offer you
will
a
never
different-
replace psychologists.
I don't think so. Not easily. Not at least in the counseling part of it. No, it can't. It may be in the technical analysis part of it. It can. But directly when you want to talk to somebody, there's a lot of difference between talking to a human being and talking to a machine.
How deep is that? क्योंकि AI as of now is being said that कि it's taking away the jobs of people, it is getting into the lives of people like never before. फिर चाहे वो किचन में है, फिर चाहे वो कमरों में है, wherever. But कुछ ऐसे fields हैं जहाँ no matter what, no amount of robot can come and talk emotions with you.
It can't.
I don't think so it's going to happen. I really hope it doesn't happen because
I
you know
hope it
you
doesn't.
need that human touch.
Yeah,
ये human touch अगर चला गया तो फिर there is nothing left.
Nothing left.
Nothing left in this
We
world.
are all social creatures.
So true.
And if we do not have human contact, it is not healthy in that sense. And that's where it leads you towards your loneliness. And loneliness in turn leads you to a lot of things like depression, kind of a thing. We need to interact with people. Kuch bhi ho. Even, I'll say that even if you are having a fight with somebody, that's still an interaction. It is
Wow.
okay. You go to a shop, you buy things.
Emotions
हाँ,
let
थोड़ा
out
सा
करना.
किचकिच होता है शॉप में. अच्छा है ना, किचकिच होने दो, चलेगा.
बट
At
आजकल
least-
लोगों में वो टॉलरेंस नहीं है ना. आजकल तो छोटी सी बात पे चाकू निकल जाते हैं. किसी ने कुछ गाड़ी में हॉन्क कर दिया पीछे से, पीपल आर विद रिवॉल्वर्स एंड दिस इज इंसिडेंट्स हैव बीन हैपनिंग ऑन ग्राउंड. रोड रेज इतना बढ़ चुका है. सो वेयर आर वी हेडेड in terms of that tolerance? क्यों वो टॉलरेंस गायब हो रहा है इन दिस करंट सिनारियो, इस जनरेशन में, शुड आई से, बिकॉज आजकल ऑफेंड हो जाते हैं इफ़ यू से दिस जनरेशन. आई डोंट वांट टू ऑफेंड एनीबडी, बट ये कॉमनली देखा गया है. रोड रेज बढ़ गए हैं एंड आजकल इतने केसेस हम सुनते हैं. लाइक यू मस्ट हैव रिसेंटली हर्ड ऑफ अ फ्यू केसेस वेयर somebody is pushing somebody down the hill, somebody is just putting somebody in the cement in a drum just because they didn't want to be with that person. Why can't a person just talk it out and leave that person? उसकी लाइफ क्यों लेनी है? आप इसे कैसे देखते हैं?
Yeah, there are a couple of things I want to mention here about these kind of incidents, right? Negative things always makes the news.
I agree.
Positive things don't make the news. अब किसी ने किसी को मार दिया तो वो बड़ी न्यूज़ हो जाती है. 10,000 लोग किसी को नहीं मारे,
वो कोई नहीं
वो
बोलेगा.
कोई नहीं बोलता है.
How true.
आज एक्सीडेंट हो गया, बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हो गया, तो वो तो खबर बन जाती है. नोबडी सेज ना, अरे आज बैंगलोर में एक भी एक्सीडेंट नहीं हुआ,
नहीं हुआ.
वो खबर नहीं बनती है ना. तो नेगेटिव थिंग्स ऑलवेज मेक द न्यूज़. सो लेट अस नॉट अज्यूम दैट बिकॉज वी सी द न्यूज़ दिस इज व्हाट्स हैपनिंग अराउंड द वर्ल्ड. Not necessary. This is one part of the world. That's what creates news. That's what sells newspapers or TRPs for the TV stations or whatever. No, it sells. The
TRPs,
positive
yes.
things don't sell. And एक क्या होता है कि suppose we see one case like somebody murdered her boyfriend, girlfriend, or somebody murdered their spouse. Now we'll see series of news now coming along the same lines. We are beginning to think अरे पूरे देश में सब लोग अपने अपने spouse को मार रहे हैं क्या? Not necessary.
There are
It's
happy
not a-
marriages. There are people
lots
living
of
happy.
marriages.
Yes.
There are lots of people living together in whatever. This is a very very small part of the entire country में जो
It's
हो
being
रहा है.
bloated out of
It's been
proportion.
blown out of proportion, and it is like the echo chamber of things. One news gets another news, and they now
Algorithm.
realize that people are interested in this kind of a news. So your algorithm supplies you
It
the
is
same
selling.
kind of a news. It
This
sells.
news is selling. Yeah.
It sells, but this is not. It is not like people are going about killing people more today than ever before.
How true.
Not truly that.
Thanks for bringing this positive perspective because इतना ज़्यादा हो गया है and the moment you turn the TV on, either you're hearing of an accident or a road rage or somebody doing any kind of a murder, suicide. इसके अलावा न्यूज़ है ही नहीं या फिर वॉर चल रही है. So when आज की जनरेशन, हम कहते थे जिसमें माय फादर वुड से वी मस्ट वॉच न्यूज़ टू नो व्हाट्स हैपनिंग जियोपॉलिटिकली, दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए. सो वंस इन अ वाइल वी वुड सिट एंड वॉच TV विद आवर पेरेंट्स एंड वॉच द न्यूज़. वो जो पूरे दिन में एक बार आती थी, रात को 9 बजे और दोपहर को 2:30 बजे. अब पूरा दिन न्यूज़ चल रही है और पूरा दिन में आप बस डिस्ट्रक्शन ही सुन रहे हैं. तो इससे इन अ लार्जर पर्सपेक्टिव बच्चों पे क्या इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है और हमारी जनरेशन पे भी क्या इम्पैक्ट ये छोड़ रहा है, ये न्यूज़ एंड सच नेगेटिव thing that we hear on a daily basis.
Unless we are able to put things into perspective, like I said, just because somebody has done one negative murder or something of that sort, it's not that everybody is doing it. Our news supplies us that. So we need to keep in mind that, if one person is doing that, 99 people are not doing that. Right? If you go on a road, even in Bangalore's traffic, if you go on a road, you'll see traffic violations, so दिखता है हमारे को. But it doesn't mean that everybody is violating the traffic. Most people are not violating the traffic. Most people are following the rules. There's always a small minority of people who are violating the traffic, who are driving in the wrong direction. If everybody is doing that, it will be absolute chaos. Right? It's a good thing in our society that most people follow the rules, most people follow the law, most people are law abiding, most people are decent. Right? We don't have to turn our heads and look at koi marne aa raha hai kya, when you walk on the road. Right? It's generally safer. So keep things in perspective, and don't allow that.
It's also like law of attraction. जो आप ज़्यादा सोचते हैं वो आपकी लाइफ में उतना ज़्यादा आता है. So I think it's on the same line.
Something like that, like again, if you look at YouTube algorithms and all, you see one YouTube of murder or something of that sort, you'll get 10 accidents.
Absolutely.
Right? आप एक ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट का देखो तो 1947 से आपको सब ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट्स दिखाते हैं. क्या किस हो रहा है.
I know, and that is so true. I mean, like this is really something very refreshing क्योंकि जब कभी डिस्कशन हम सुनते हैं, even in a podcast, इस चीज़ पे और ड्वेल किया जाता है, लाइक दे टॉक मोर अबाउट इट, बट यू हैव समहाउ रिवर्स द होल थिंग एंड स्पोकन इन अ मोर पॉजिटिव वे फॉर पीपल टू स्टार्ट पेइंग अटेंशन टू द पॉजिटिव एज वेल than just the negative what's happening, So, wow, amazing. Thank you so much for this perspective. I needed to hear this today. So, emotions की हम बात करते हैं श्रीधर. Emotions, एक आदमी और एक औरत, क्या दोनों के कुछ न्यूरोलॉजिकली देयर इज समथिंग डिफरेंट कि इमोशंस, सेम इमोशन दो इंसान अलग तरीके से ले सकते हैं? डू यू थिंक इट इज़ ट्रू?
Again,
let's say a news of a death of somebody in the family, how a woman takes and how a man takes.
Yeah.
Generally, we have seen a difference in the way probably fathers would react to it and the mothers would react to it.
I would put it like this, the emotions that they feel is the same. How they express it is different. Right? For instance, it was always considered that men should not be able to express an emotion. That men should be more controlled. This is how you've grown up. Boys don't cry. Right? Girls can cry, but boys don't cry. Men are stronger. Right? So
we commonly hear that.
This is what we commonly hear. So, do they experience the same emotion? 100% they experience the same emotion. Right? If somebody loses their important loved one, the pain that is there is the same for both men and women. But how they express it could be different. How they deal with it is again culturally dependent. What kind of a family were you raised in? Were you raised in a family which was emotionally supportive to you? Did they say that yes, we can talk about emotions, yes, you can cry, yes, you can be angry? Were emotions allowed at your home? If you grew up in a household which said, no negative emotions at home, everybody has to be cheerful all the time, do not complain about anything, do not be angry at anything, then you kind of say that, no, I can't express my emotions at all. Because anger, anxiety, guilt and all are normal, healthy emotions. What's wrong with them? You as a human being, you should be able to feel all your authentic emotions. Hamesha to say that, my child should be happy 24/7, you are living in a la-la land. Right? You're not allowing your child to express their own emotions. So you start in a household where emotions are being freely expressed and accepted. Right? You'll see men and women are being able to healthily express their emotions.
So do you think it was to do with the way they were raised?
They were raised. How we were raised, our culture, our country's culture, our family culture, our community culture. Each there's a micro universe now within those small universes. Right?
Yeah, a child is raised by a village, they say. It's not just one family.
Absolutely.
So I agree, and I think we need to dwell a little more on this topic because it's something very prevalent today. आजकल जो स्टाइल ऑफ पेरेंटिंग इवॉल्व हो रही है, हमारे टाइम में मतलब इस पे जोक्स भी बनते हैं, कि थप्पड़ पड़ जाते थे, जूते से माँ मार रही है, इस पे जोक्स बना, रील्स बन रहे हैं, पीपल आर लाफिंग अबाउट इट एंड टू एन एक्सटेंट इट इज़ फनी, बट ऑल्सो देयर हैव बीन केसेस जहाँ पे कुछ ज़्यादा एक्सट्रीम फिजिकल अब्यूज़ भी बच्चों ने सहा है, बट आज की डेट में शायद वो उसको एक्सप्रेस नहीं करते हैं, बट रिलेशनशिप्स में उनके कहीं ना कहीं वो शायद it is showing whether their relationship with their child or with their wife. आजकल की parenting, it's like बहुत ज़्यादा they want कि एकदम शांत, बच्चे को कुछ नहीं बोलना, don't let the child say what he has to say, never react to the child's public behavior in a park or whatever. आपका parenting style को लेके आपका क्या ओपिनियन है श्रीधर? आई वॉन्ट टू नो दिस बिकॉज एज अ पेरेंट माई सेल्फ एंड मिलियंस आउट देयर हु मे वॉन्ट टू हियर कि आज की पेरेंटिंग स्टाइल को लेके आप क्या सोचते हैं?
Yeah. See again, what has happened in the society is like earlier times, like you said, no, एक थप्पड़ खाना है या तो कोई मार दिए या तो कुछ हुआ, even
जूते चप्पल चलते थे.
yeah, सब कुछ चलता था ना, and yeah, to an extent it is okay. It was okay in that sense, right? As long as it was not taken to an extreme, it was okay. Even if you look at the schools earlier, schools में तो punishment was normal. You know, you would, I mean, some of the teachers would always come with a cane in the class.
Oh yes,
Right?
knuckles पे scale से पढ़ते
And
थे.
did it work? I would say, yeah, it worked in that era, right? And punishment in the sense of standing on the bench or throwing you out of the class or making you run around the room. So this was all part of that era's growing up. Right? Today we have kind of become the other end of the whole thing. Everything has become so liberal in the sense whether it is parenting or whether it is schools. So we can't, if we can say, use the word punish the child in any way at all. Right?
How healthy is that?
And when you do that, you're not helping the child to understand the consequences of their actions. अब कुछ गलती हुआ तो उसका consequences तो समझना चाहिए ना. Consequences used to be the punishment part of it. So you realize that, if I do that, I'll get punished, so I don't want to do that because it's unhealthy. Whether you are afraid of your dad, mom would come and scold you or would come and give you a slap. So you would not go and do that because it protected you from going into the wrong direction. But today when you look at the parenting, it has gone so liberal that we don't even want to scold a child. Then who is going to draw the boundaries for the child? How will the child know? How will the child know what is right and what is wrong? Like you said, suppose the child is using abusive words and nobody is stopping him from doing that at home, then where are we heading towards? We might not want to go towards the physical punishment part of it, fair enough, but can we still look at that somebody does something wrong, there have to be consequences for your actions.
Do you think denial has a role to play here, that कि आजकल बहुत denial में चलते हैं हम लोग कि नहीं सब ठीक है, all is good, all is okay, वो एक all is well concept चला था एक movie से. तो do you think that has a role to play too कि नहीं सब ठीक है, he's not doing much, बाकी बच्चे भी तो करते हैं. Like I've recently come across a case जहाँ एक बच्चा abusive language use करता है and his parent is saying कि he's not the only one, बाकी बच्चे भी तो करते हैं. Instead of correcting his own child, he is trying to put the blame on overall. एक उसको generalize कर दिया उन्होंने ताकि उनका बच्चा अलग ना दिखे.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's healthy?
No, see, again, here I want to point out, like, if he is using abusive language with his friends, because his friends are using it, वो अलग दुनिया है.
वो एक अलग दुनिया है.
वो लोग कर लेते तो अलग बात है. So just because he is being allowed there doesn't mean that he can use the abusive language with the grandparents or with the parents and get away with it because he is using that. Learn to distinguish. There's a discrimination. उनके peers के साथ जो करते हैं वो अलग है. You can't do the same behavior here. So who is going to point out the consequences of them for that? That this is not permissible, this is not allowed, this is not what we do in our homes. There's nothing wrong with kind of bringing in the consequences of bad behavior or unacceptable behavior, if I can call it.
Because school में भी discipline levels have changed. पहले discipline was viewed as discipline. आजकल probably because they don't want to lose that child from the school or there could be a number of reasons. School भी उस चीज़ को कहीं ना कहीं नज़रअंदाज करता रहता है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. And that has made, let me tell you, that has made the life of teachers miserable.
Miserable actually.
Right? They can't bring in any negative thing. Negative remark भी allowed नहीं रहता. Many of the schools, are not allowed to pass negative remarks about your child on the paper. So if a teacher is there, she is supposed to discipline the child, but discipline के लिए एक power चाहिए ना. You can't discipline somebody without power in your hands. So what power does the teacher have today, to kind of discipline the child? And the child is not disciplined, then the parents will come and say it's the entire responsibility of the school to do this. Neither the school is doing it, nor the parents are doing it. So as a result, today we have children. Now, I'm not saying all children again, right? Some children are there who do not know the consequences of their actions and kind of have the sense of entitlement. या तो चल जाता है, can get away with anything kind of.
Get away with it, yes.
So it becomes very difficult now as they grow into adults because adult world is not going to mollycoddle your child.
Absolutely.
Adult world is very harsh. So if you want your child to survive in the adult world, prepare him for that too.
What is your suggestion to such parents कि कैसे डील करना है सिचुएशन को? लेट्स से आप आई एम श्योर ऐसे केसेस फेस करते होंगे, कोई ना कोई पेरेंट आपके पास आता होगा बच्चे को लेके, खुद लेके, विदाउट नेमिंग एनी पर्टिकुलर पर्सन. कोई ऐसा केस आप को याद हो या कुछ इनडायरेक्टली आप समझाना चाहें कि हाउ टू डील विद दिस सिचुएशन? ये है, वी ऑल नो, एंड ऑन अ डेली बेसिस पेरेंट्स आर सफरिंग, टीचर्स आर सफरिंग, चाइल्ड इज सफरिंग. सोल्यूशन क्या है?
So basically what I would say is that if we kind of bring in that consequences for unacceptable behavior would be taking away some privileges. Let us say the child has been given some privileges, that maybe a mobile phone is a privilege, or maybe something else is a privilege, a toy is a privilege, right? Children don't like to lose what they have. Not only children, even adults, we don't like to lose what we have. We don't mind not getting something new into our purse. But if I lose 10 rupees, that's a big thing for me. Right? Children don't like to lose things. So we can always look at, can we kind of have a consequences for them where the consequences is reduced screen time, right? It's one of the big things that children want today, reduce screen time, or maybe something that they like that's being taken away from them. Short period of time, I'm saying, not again for a long period of time.
So you have to monitor that also.
Some consequences for that action should be there for unacceptable behavior. Otherwise, we are saying that a child can do anything and we are okay with it. That's an extraordinarily extended liberal parenting now, which is not healthy. There's got to be a limits now within which we do our parenting.
So, जो emotional baggage एक इंसान carry करता है, let's say over the years, over the probably हमारे बचपन से लेके मैंने जो अपना emotional baggage carry किया है, मेरे बच्चों पे वो कहीं ना कहीं नज़र आता है.
बिल्कुल.
I might react to the children because of my unresolved issues that I've had.
100%.
So, इसके बीच में जो gap है, उसको कैसे fill करें? How can you not carry your emotional baggage and dump it on your child? How can you just stop it somewhere it has to end?
Yeah.
Like they say, grandmother gave it to my mother, mother gave it to me, and I might give it to my child.
Correct.
Can this stop somewhere, and what is the right way to recognize it? कि ये एक baggage है और इसको मुझे drop करना पड़ेगा.
Absolutely. See, you are right in saying that we carry our baggage from the past into our parenting or into our marriages, right? What happened with my dad, mom? What did I see with my grandparents? So all that will have an influence on me. So the only way I can say that that it should not be passed from generation to generation is, can you become more self-aware? That's the first step to any change. The first gateway to change is, are you more self-aware of what are you doing? If I can help you to recognize your patterns and saying, hey, look, this is the way your mom parented you, and it was good for that era. Do you think it's good for this era? आपके मदर ने आपको जो पेरेंटिंग किया, whatever 30 years back, 40 years back, that was the morality of that era. Let us not judge the morality of that era with today's moral standards. उस दिन वो ठीक था, because everybody was doing the same thing in those days. So whether right or wrong, that was the morality of that area. But is it suitable for you today to do same things? Right? Today the way your daughter wants to dress is different from the way you are allowed to dress at that age. And today your daughter will want to dress in the way her peers are dressing.
But इतनी आसानी से ये thoughts जो हैं इनको हम resolve नहीं कर सकते ना in our head. No. If we are moving on with a certain thought, how can I suddenly become from black to white?
You can't. That's why it needs an extended session with somebody like a psychologist or a therapist who will sit with you and help you out to understand what is the baggages you are carrying, what are the unresolved issues you are carrying. Can we help you to resolve some of them at least so that it doesn't impinge on the next generation? Right? So that talk has to go on. So when we say counseling or a therapy, it's not always because you have got some trauma around you that you need to discuss. Sometimes many people come just to talk about their parenting styles, just to talk about how their marriage is working, how can they improve their marriages, right? So it's good to see that people are seeking professional help even to how to bring greater harmony into their own relationships.
So how should a person sort of कहते हैं ना कि आपके पास एक breaking point आता है life में when you realize कि अच्छा now I need to see a psychologist. कई बार हमारे बच्चे जो हैं in a real way due to something in their life are going through some sort of anxiety, depression, या my husband is going through or somebody's wife is going through or somebody's brother. अगर किसी इंसान को help करनी है by sending them to a psychologist, आपके हिसाब से what is that point that one must recognize कि this person needs help? आप कैसे recognize करेंगे उस point को?
Yeah, basically I would say that there are two areas where we are all functional.
Okay.
One is in your relationships and one is your work.
Okay.
These are the two dimensions of everybody's life. आपके रिश्ते हैं, आपका काम है. तो ये दो areas में आप functional हो रहे हैं. आपका काम बिल्कुल सही चल रहा है. It's not getting affected by any of your emotions. It's not getting affected by any of the things around you. You're very functional in your work. Then we look at the second dimension of, are you functional in your relationships? आपकी जो relationships है उसमें आप functional है क्या? आपकी जो responsibilities है आप वो निभा रहे हैं. Whether you're looking after your aged parents, whether it's looking after your spouse and children, whether it's being social with your friends and the greater obligation to the community and all. If you're being functional in your relationships, you're being functional in your work, you're all right. राइट. जहाँ वो फंक्शनैलिटी गड़बड़ हो गई कि आपको काम में कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं करना हो रहा है, आपको प्रोडक्टिविटी गिर रहा है, या तो आपके रिश्ते में रोज खिचकिच हो रहा है, every day there's some fight with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, or somebody in your life, and this every day regularly constantly चल रहा है, then it needs attention at that point of time. So I would say not judge yourself on the functionality of your relationships and your work, right? If you are functioning very well in both, then you are doing fine. Some minor issues in your life, you'll be able to sort it out. Will come around. But if the thing is like some functionality is getting affected, I mean, my relationship with my daughter is really going down, my relationship with my wife is really going down. The moment you think like that, कि पहले अच्छा था, अभी पता नहीं क्यों deteriorate हो रहा है, it needs to be talked out, it needs to be worked on. That's what you should be able to distinguish your functionality and work and functionality in relationships.
So ये हमें understand करना पड़ेगा even with our loved ones कि क्या उनकी life में भी ऐसा कुछ dysfunctional हो रहा है. And that is when they need to see a general physician first, or
a general psychologist
directly
first.
General psychologist.
A general psychologist would be able to help you with anything psychological, but then I would always say then just go to a general physician also and get it checked. It could be hormonal. I mean, for instance, many women who go through menopause, for instance. Right, there are a lot of issues that come up at that point of time. It's not everything is not mental. Everything is not in the mind. Everything is not psychological. Your body plays a huge role in your emotional well-being. So first address the physiological issues, right? Whatever your vitamins are not there, your hormonal imbalance is there, your sleep cycle has got affected, your gut issues are there. Address all those things too, along with going to a psychologist. A psychologist alone won't be help you now if you've got other issues now with your body.
Deficiencies, right? And all that. Yeah.
Even as a psychologist, my aim is always to kind of check with them now of all their physiological functions. And if there's something that I can help them with, teaching them some breathing exercises, teaching them some meditation techniques, I will do that. And then I'll say, let's then talk about the deeper psychological issues. So address the body issues first. Body does carry all the things that you're going through, whether it's your anxiety, whether
it works hand in hand.
It works hand in hand. It's not some separate things, not that your body alag hai, apna mind alag hai. It doesn't work like that. Right? You have to have an approach now where you're working with the body and with the mind. Like how I said, sometimes we refer people to a psychiatrist for medication. I've referred people to a yoga therapist. I've referred people to a guided meditation person who does that. Right? Sometimes I've guided them to somebody who gives them a movement therapy. Right? Because you need these kind of a thing. Sometimes an art therapy. These are the things that you got to be attending to all these areas also as a psychologist. It's not just psychology alone. It's physiology ko bhi attend karo na. First aid is always from physiology. Teach them, if somebody is anxious, first teach them how to breathe. Right? A few techniques of breathing helps them to manage their anxiety.
Anxiety mein people have that kind of a breathlessness and all that. So they can channelize that by doing yoga, by meditation, learning to breathe properly and all that.
Absolutely.
Wow. I think कई बार हम out of proportion भी ले जाते हैं. To basic mental, sickness bologe ya health bologe, I think it's a medical term. Why are we shying off from calling it a medical term? Let's say I was not able to directly say it as a medical word. Mental health को हम medical term क्यों नहीं use करते हैं?
Mental health, there's a broad range about it, right? So when we look at how can somebody become emotionally at a good level, first I would say remove all the things that are causing you negativity, right? आपकी जो misery आपको हट गया, तो आप at least zero पे आ गए. अब वहाँ से आपको how do I help you to flourish in your life? This is where the positive psychology comes in. How do I help you to flourish in your life? Firstly, I try to see what's causing you misery. आपकी misery आपसे life से हट गई, तो you are at a zero level, right? आपका peace तो आ गई. Peace के बाद happiness को जा सकते हैं ना.
How true. And जब शादी होती है, two different people from two different backgrounds with two different probably traumas, medical issues, with the different kind of situational way of raising the way they were raised and all that are coming together and becoming one. Yeah. Before we got onto the podcast, you were speaking of something called premarital counseling. Yeah. I think it's a very rarely used word. I heard for the first time जब आपने mention किया. I would really want you to dwell a little more on premarital counseling, and is it important, और क्या हम इसको एक mental health के zone में लें, या is it like a normal requirement of any two people getting married so that they come unresolved as two different people to become one?
See, again, the reason why we say that today we need more of premarital counseling is our traditional way of marriage has broken down, especially in the urban areas. Right? It is not, earlier you used to always marry within your caste, within your community, आपकी शादी होती थी. अभी कैसा हो गया, इफ यू लुक एट अ प्लेस लाइक बैंगलोर, मुंबई, दिल्ली एंड ऑल, इंटरकास्ट मैरिजेस, इंटर रिलीजियस मैरिजेस, इट्स बिकम वेरी कॉमन, राइट? एंड टू पीपल कमिंग फ्रॉम सच डिफरेंट बैकग्राउंड्स, so when they want to live together, people come with a different set of expectations, right? Expectations भी high हो गए. I mean, if both the people are earning very well, now what is the need for marriage at all? Fundamentally वहाँ से शुरू होता है question कि आज क्यों शादी करना है?
क्यों शादी करना है?
तो when you want to get married, people often think that no, there's got to be a compatibility test. People come and tell me that, no, I want to marry this guy because he and I, we like the same kind of movies. I said, okay, good. What else? He said, no, we also like to travel a lot. I said, wonderful. Then our क्या है? No, we also have the same kind of inclination towards our religion. I said, excellent. So you are looking at all the things that are common, right? I said, till today, in the last 1.5 decades or 2 decades of counseling, I've never come across people who want to separate because they like the same thing. Right? So I would say that, instead of having a compatibility test, have an incompatibility test.
Wow.
Right? Where are you incompatible?
Yes.
Because you have to live with a person, every relationship is suboptimal.
Suboptimal.
Yeah, there's nothing like, this is a perfect relationship आपके लिए. हर relationship आपको suboptimal है. यहाँ तक चाहिए आपको इतना ही मिलेगा. तो ये जो gap है ना, what is your expectation of what this person is going to be? This is going to be an unsolvable problem in your life. So somebody came and said to me that, I have got an option of marrying A, B and C. And all of them look good to me. Whom should I choose? I said, choose the most unsolvable problem you can live with. Which is the unsolvable problem we can live with? Because unsolvable problems comes from your personality issues of that person, right? Somebody is extrovert, somebody is introvert, they will remain like that, right? Or it can come from lifestyle issues. ये दो चीज़ है जहाँ unsolvable issues होते हैं couple में. How you want to treat money, right? Each person's attitude is there. How you want to treat senior citizens in your home. Do you want to look after them or you think it's not your responsibility?
Do you want to stay with them, not with them?
Not
yeah,
stay with
I
them.
know.
So these are the things ना which is going to be unresolvable. इसके लिए कोई solution नहीं होता है. आपको झेलना पड़ेगा, right? Some problems can be solved, some problems झेलो, right? So किस problem को आप झेलने के लिए तैयार हैं उनके साथ जिसको आप शादी करना चाहते हैं? वो आप ये मत सोचो कि मैं शादी होने के बाद वो बदल जाएगा, नहीं बदलेगा. Right? Those things are not going to, don't come with hope. Marry what you see.
Can you call it a positive compromise?
It's a positive compromise because I like 10 other things with this person. These are the 2 things I don't like about him or her. But I'm willing to live with that person because 10 other things are good. That is the suboptimal part of it. So I'm willing to live with that because इतना अच्छा चीज़ है मेरे को. ये 2 चीज़ नहीं जमता है, ठीक है, I can live with that. So are you willing to live with that unsolvable problem? Because most of the time, people move away from each other because they want of that unsolvable problem. I can no longer deal with this. I've dealt with it for 15 years. I've dealt with it for 17 years. Now I want to move away from this marriage because my children have grown up. I don't have to be in this.
Seriously,
What
after
we call as
30,
the
30
grey
years.
divorces.
Yeah.
Grey divorces are on the increase.
Yes.
People who have been married for 17 years, 20 years, 25 years, they want to move away because now they have got an option to move away.
नहीं बट ऐसा बड़ा कॉमन हमारे इंडिया में तो बड़ा कॉमनली है कि शादी में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, बच्चा कर लो, हैव अ चाइल्ड, सो हैविंग अ चाइल्ड विल रिजॉल्व योर मैरिटल इश्यूज. Is it a fact, or do you think having a child is going to only increase the burden of different types of pressures, that you're going to come into, क्या एक बच्चा एक मैरिटल प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर सकता है?
If the problem is nothing serious, right? Sometimes a child can be more of a glue in the marriage. But if getting married only for this child's sake, if the marriage is getting held on only for the child's sake, that marriage is not very healthy.
But half the time तो यही हो रहा है ना, बच्चे के लिए आप तब तक रहते हैं जब तक बच्चा सेटल होके आगे ना निकल जाए, and then you separate and go your way or live like 2 different people under the same roof.
Absolutely. So I would always say that first resolve your issues before you bring another life into it. Right? आपके issues, I'm not saying you can solve all your issues, but if you're having major compatibility issues with that other person, right? रोज आपके साथ उनके साथ झगड़ा हो रहा है, रोज आपके साथ dysfunctional relationship चल रहा है, bringing a child into that is not going to resolve your marriage, right? So don't bring a child into a marriage which is very unhealthy for yourself. You are not happy in that marriage, right? You are very uncomfortable in that marriage. Every day you are thinking of getting out of the marriage, and you think a child is going to solve that marriage. No, it is not. So I would rather say if issues are serious, right? छोटे मोटे issues है, then fine, you know, you can always gloss over some of the issues because, like I said, every problem
You have
can't
to
be
move
solved.
on with some issues.
Move on with some issues. हाँ, ये ऐसे चलेगा, but I'm okay with it. And both of us have the same vision for parenting, right? I would always say that, you know, the couple should have the same vision for parenting. Your parenting styles can be different. आप ये style में कर रहे हो, वो style में कर रहे हो, but your destination is the same for your child. Right? Your vision for parenting is the same. Your styles can differ. One person can be a little more liberal. One person can be, I mean, you can have a bad cop, good cop thing in a marriage.
And that actually with the child prevails. एक bad cop होता है, दूसरा good cop बन जाता है. But at the same time कई बार ऐसा होता है कि especially mothers can't see their child being scolded by a father, and they end up, you know, stopping them at that very moment in front of the child.
Which is not
which is again
right.
You know, I think ये सारी गलतियाँ I think commonly हम सब करते हैं.
So I would always see that, you know, in front of the child, respect each other. Child has to see that, you know, the dad respects the mom and the mom respects the dad. Right? That is important. आप झगड़ा करो, doesn't matter. You're fighting between closed doors, you also make up. Right? The child can see you having an argument. But as long as the argument is not disrespectful, it's all right. Because the child sees you arguing, the child also sees you that you make up, right, in front of him or around him. And he says this is how human beings function, that they will have disagreements and they'll also make up. But don't make that argument disrespectful. Right? Don't put down one another in front of the child. Then the child will begin to think this is a role model for me. How to treat men or how to treat women. And that's not healthy.
एंड एक्सपेक्टेशंस, उसके बारे में आपका क्या कहना है? जैसे हम बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखते हैं फ्रॉम स्पेशली लेट्स से फ्रॉम माय लेट्स से यू नो माय हस्बैंड और अ वाइफ और फ्रॉम माय सिबलिंग. क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस किल कर सकता है एक रिलेशनशिप को? यू थिंक इट इज़ नॉट वेरी हेल्दी टू कीप हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस फ्रॉम समबडी who may not be able to fulfill those expectations?
Yeah. See, basically we come to this, you know, that every relationship में expectations होता है.
True. But
There's
how
no
far?
relationship without expectations, and the highest expectation in your relationship always comes from your spouse.
Absolutely.
Right? You expect your spouse to be everything, whether it's a man or a woman, whomever they're married to. They expect them to be, what do you say, that like 10 hands, you know, that everybody does everything. And what is important is not about having expectations. You might have had great expectations, but what you need to understand is this person capable of meeting my expectation? If that person is not capable of meeting your expectation, then if you're going on banging your head against saying that this person has to meet this expectation, you're going to be very miserable. I'll give you an example. You know, in one of the sessions, one lady came and said, you know, I would like my husband to praise me. And he never ever praises me. It really upsets me. I expect him to praise me, you know, whatever, my cooking, my dressing. He never ever praises me. I told her, no, for the next 1 week, observe your husband. Right? Does he go to his family? Yeah, he visits his sister, he visits his wife, I mean, his mom and all. I said, after he comes back, no, just observe whom he praises. 1 week later, she comes back and says, Sridhar, last 1 week I have been very keenly observing my husband. Not one time did he praise anybody.
So habit ही नहीं है.
That man doesn't know how to praise. He's not singling you out. Right? He doesn't know how to praise because that has been his upbringing. In many households, what happens is they think that no, a child should never be praised. सर पे बैठ जाए, सर को चढ़ जाएगा.
Yes.
So you don't want to praise your child. So the child has learned that how to praise, he doesn't know. So she comes from a family where there's a lot of praise happening, you know, for everything around, and here her husband doesn't praise her one bit. And she's going on saying that no, I want him to praise. And then when I made her realize that, you know, it is not personal. Right? This person doesn't know how to praise. Now, can you learn to live with it and not make it into an issue for yourself? She said, if he doesn't praise anybody in his life, what am I to expect from praise from him?
My God, it's like a bubble which suddenly got
just burst, right? So you need to know, you need to understand the nature of the person you are marrying and see, can this person fulfill these expectations for me? If you can't fulfill, then I have to see, now how can I get my expectation fulfilled legally, morally, legitimate boundaries के अंदर from somebody else. Again, as an example, somebody loves traveling, the spouse doesn't love traveling. What do? I said, okay, can you find some other group which you can travel? Because your needs are important. आपके needs, traveling का needs है आपके. Your spouse does not have the traveling needs. So can you find a group with which to travel as long...
Or go solo traveling.
Go solo, whatever, whichever way works for you, right?
True.
So can you get your needs fulfilled within the boundaries of our legally, morally, ethically, जिसके साथ हम लोग कर सकते हैं क्या? Then what happens is, you are not a sad person, that your needs are not fulfilled. All unhappiness comes from unmet needs.
How true.
आपके
Starts
needs
from there.
आपके needs meet नहीं हुए, you are unhappy person. So is there any way, instead of one person meeting your need, can you get the need met from other person?
How true. How true.
Right?
This
Again,
is
within
very
the boundaries,
interesting.
right? We don't
Very
cross
interesting.
boundaries now of breaking the trust in the relationships, right? So within that, can you find how to, if it is possible to do that? If it is not possible to do that, can you learn to cope with what you have?
I think if this message goes across, I think half the marital problems will get over.
Understanding the nature
Immediately.
understanding the nature of the other person
Yeah,
and
yeah.
living with that nature is what we need to learn. Your nature is different, my nature is different. I need to learn how to navigate the space between you and me. I don't want me to change, I don't want you to change. Right? हमारे जो बीच में जो रास्ता है, whatever we need to do, can we do that in a peaceful manner? How can we do that? That's all we need to ask. Asking a person to constantly change is a huge pressure.
It is. I
आप
think
बदलो, आप बदलो, आप बदलो. I mean, we hear
this can lead to
tired.
depression in the other person.
It leads to a loss of self-esteem that I'm not worthy of
Good
this
enough.
thing. I'm not good enough for this person, right? So what is wrong with me, right? I feel like accept people for who they are
And
learn
this,
to live
this
with
also moves and trickles down to your children. If a relationship, बच्चों के husband wife के बीच में issues हैं, वो बच्चों में trickle down होते
100%.
हैं.
If a child grows up in a family where there's a constant friction between the parents, the child becomes an anxious child because he's constantly walking on eggshells. अब पता नहीं आज मॉर्निंग उठता हूँ तो फर्स्टली एंटेना खड़ा हो जाता है कि वहाँ से साउंड कुछ आ रहा है क्या, झगड़े का साउंड. When some households wake up to Suprabhatam, some households wake up to a fight between the parents.
How true.
Right? So when you're constantly monitoring your environment, every child perceives an argument between his parents as a threat.
Wow.
Right? So when you constantly are
I think every
in
child
that,
deserves a peaceful morning and in
Yes.
which he goes to school in peace, having his breakfast, happy, smiling. And I think half the households are sending their children to school under stress.
there can be stress, but it doesn't have to be disrespectful, it doesn't have to be dysfunctional. Right? आप stress में रहते हैं कि स्कूल को बच्चा has not finished his bathing or is not tied his shoes, ये सब होता है. As long as you're kind of doing it without melting down,
And but I think your day also rolls into that moment, आप उसी को रोल करते करते आपका दिन फिर पूरा वैसे ही जाता है. I think it's that effect which happens, So it's so true. But also you spoke of children, Sridhar. हम बच्चों को आई थिंक उनकी सारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स पूरी करते हैं. आजकल गैजेट्स हैं, उनकी जो भी बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट, हम उनकी कोशिश करते हैं कि हर रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी करें. आपके हिसाब से एज ए काउंसलर, जो आप काफ़ी ऐसे पेरेंट्स एंड बच्चों से मिले होंगे, क्या चीज़ हम मिस कर रहे हैं एज अ फैमिली जो हम बच्चों को नहीं दे रहे हैं, इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग थिंग्स विच आर प्रॉब्ली नॉट दैट इम्पोर्टेंट?
See, we can give the person who gives you time, he gives you the best gift possible. Right? If parents can give time to the children, मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि ना, you don't have to buy 100 toys. आप जो 2 टॉय खरीदते हैं ना, उसके साथ आप भी बैठ के खेलो. Can you spend time with your child? Right? That's a huge thing. So if time is a gift, that people can give, I wouldn't say it's a gift that you have to give to children. It's a necessity that you have to give to your children. You give them time. You can spend time taking them out to a garden, doing gardening together, doing household chores together. बच्चों के साथ भी आप जो भी घर के काम है ना, उसमें भी आप उनको शामिल करो ना. कौन कहता है कि आपको बच्चों के काम नहीं करना? आजकल ऐसा हो गया कि नो, वी डोंट वांट आवर चाइल्ड टू डू एनीथिंग. I'm saying it that when he becomes a teenager, he is not going to do anything for you when you actually want him to do something. लोग ये भी पूछते हैं कि किस उम्र से शुरू करना है बच्चों को घर के काम. मैं कहता हूँ कि जब वो 2 साल के हैं ना, तब से शुरू करो. I got my grand niece at home. She is 2 years old. She takes a broom that's longer than her, and she starts sweeping. I say, we'll allow her to sweep. गलतियाँ होते हैं. I mean, she's not going to be a great thing, but she feels a sense of belonging to the family.
Yes.
She sees that, it's not a privilege, that it's only the house help that comes and does it, or it's not only the parents who do it. I
And
can also do it.
responsibility also, yeah.
And it is also part of growing up, that you allow the child to do it.
आपने टीनेजर्स की बात करी अभी. हम बड़ा कॉमनली सुनते हैं जब टीनेजर्स बच्चे हो जाते हैं कि ये मुझसे बात नहीं करता है, ये अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ ज़्यादा टाइम बिताता है, ही डजंट वांट टू सिट विद मी एनी मोर. पहले ही यूज्ड टू कम एंड हग मी सो मच, अब ये मेरे पास आता ही नहीं है. तो ये ना बड़ा कॉमन हम सुनते हैं. आपके हिसाब से, जैसे आप बच्चों को मिलते होंगे, यू मस्ट बी काउंसलिंग अ फ्यू चिल्ड्रन ऑल्सो, ऐसा क्या रीज़न है कि बच्चे अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बात करना बंद कर देते हैं?
One of the reasons, again, I can always say is that, parents have become, in a way, if you look at it, their conversation with their children is just giving instructions and directions. 24/7 इंस्ट्रक्शंस एंड डायरेक्शंस होता है. डू दिस, डोंट डू दिस, डू दिस, डोंट डू दिस, ये करो, ये मत करो, वो क्यों कर रहे हो, टीवी के साथ क्यों बैठे हो, कब पढ़ रहे हो, एग्जाम कब है. It's constantly giving directions and instructions. So what happens is, as they grow into a teenage phase, their mind starts developing, right? Until then, parents are gods. For younger children, parents are gods. The moment they come into a teenage, they begin to question your values. They begin to question you. आपने वहाँ किया ना, वो सही नहीं था ना, तो मेरे को क्यों कर रहे हो कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ गलत है. आपने प्लेट वहीं रख दिया था. They start pointing out things for you and you begin to get angry about that. Right? Because now वो बड़ा हो गया, मेरे को बोल रहा है. Right? So
you can't hear it back from them.
You don't want to hear it back from them. So again, if you want to create, even with your teenager, believe me, it's one of the best things you can create as a parent. Now, if you can be there for them to listen to them. Listening to your child is a wonderful thing. Let us say he just comes and says, I had a fight with my friend. The first reaction of my parent is, what did you do? तुमने उसको मार दिया क्या? No, it goes into that. Can we just pause and say what happened? क्या हुआ? No, just asking kya hua and the child explains to you. Don't get into jumping of giving gyan right from day one. I mean, the moment he says something, अपना शुरू हो जाता है कि मैं बड़ा हूँ, तुम छोटे हो, सुनो मेरे को सुनो. I'll give you gyan of how to be there. Judgmental gyan. I would always say that, always connect before you correct. Don't go into the correction mode immediately with your children. Even if you know what to do at that point, hold yourself back. Make an emotional connection with the child. Make them talk out what happened. Right? पूरा सुन लो जो भी कहानी, इसने उसको मारा, उसने इसको मारा, उसने इसकी गाली दी. All that, listen to them without commenting on it. Just do हूँ हाँ ऐसा क्या, फिर क्या हुआ, फिर क्या हुआ. Once all that emotions have been expressed, then start the correction process. What do you think you could have done differently? Don't again say कल से ये करो. Teenagers don't like being told. Teenagers never like being told what to do. So always ask them, what do you think can be done here? I'll give you another example of teenagers parenting. When teenagers bring a report card, right, how do you handle that? Right? Always, you look at the report card and say, हाँ इसमें अच्छा स्कोर किया, ये क्या हो गया, what happened to maths में इतना क्यों कम है, शुरू आपका lecture. Right? Instead of that, you take the report card, look at it, give it back to the child and say, explain to me what happened.
और एक बच्चा सारे सब्जेक्ट्स में कैसे एक्सेल कर सकता है?
एक्सेल भी नहीं कर सकता है. So let him explain why he did what he did.
Yes.
So he owns the problem. Right? You are not giving the bad news to him. He is sharing the bad news with you. It makes him feel that this time I scored less in maths.
ownership लेता है बच्चा.
Ownership लेता है. This time I scored less in maths because of XXX. Okay, how do you think I can help you with this? What help do you want from me to score better? There's a way to have that conversation with your child even when he brings in the report card. All you do is the moment he brings the report card, आप nuclear हो गए उनके ऊपर. Right? You're just gone in an attack mode saying, I've spent so much of time. Right? I've spent so much of time. This is what you want. Yes. I've spent so much of money on you. When I was there, I studied like this.
ये बड़ा कॉमन है. पेरेंट्स अपने टाइम पे पहुंच जाते हैं. हम तो चल के जाते थे 12 किलोमीटर नदी क्रॉस करके एंड ऑल दैट. सो इट्स लाइक इसके जोक्स बन गए हैं, मीम्स बन गए हैं आजकल. पीपल आर टेकिंग अ लाइटर मोड, बट इट्स अ फैक्ट. पेरेंट्स अपना बचपन थोपते हैं अपने बच्चों पे कि हमारा बचपन इतना मुश्किल था, हमने ये नहीं देखा, वो नहीं देखा. तुम लोगों के पास बहुत प्रिविलेजेस हैं. यू आर वन ऑफ द लकी फ्यू. सो स्टार्ट फीलिंग ग्रेटफुल फॉर इट, विच इज़ गुड. At the same time, the child starts feeling pressurized with those.
आजकल उसमें भी बच्चे स्मार्ट बन गए हैं. I mean, suppose you say that I was walking to my school. Did you have a car? No, I did not have a car. फिर आपके फ्रेंड्स क्या कर रहे थे, वो भी पैदल चढ़ गए. तो इसमें क्या हो गया?
इसमें एक जोक भी क्रिएट हो गया कि हम तो एक बल्ब में पढ़ते थे, तो चाइल्ड से सुबह क्यों नहीं पढ़ते थे, फिर अब रात को क्यों पढ़ते थे? So
no, we make it as if it's a virtue, what we did, when it was actually the only way we could have done. The only way we could have done is walk to the school because we did not have bus.
We didn't have those kind of.
We don't have this. Yes. We did not have the gadgets, but we make it as if it was some kind of a sacrifice we did at that era. None of us did any sacrifice. All of us were doing the same thing what other peers were doing.
I think आजकल के बच्चे भी अपने हिसाब से अपने sacrifices कर रहे हैं. I think which are not being really noticed by the parents nowadays. But tell me one thing, parents as friends या friendly parent, क्या आप इन दोनों में कुछ फ़र्क समझते हैं? Do you think there's a difference between being a friend to your child or being a friendly parent to your child?
There's a difference between that, right? Friendship is a relationship. Friendliness is an attitude. So you can't be your son's or daughter's best friend, but you can be a friendly parent. Friendliness का attitude तो है, तो don't try to be their best friends. में friendship का मतलब क्या होता है कि आप you don't want to hear the language that they use with your friends. आपके साथ वो language आपको अच्छा नहीं लगेगा ना, and the things that they do with their friends you don't even want to know half of it.
Yes.
Right? So don't try to be a friend with your child. Be friendly with your child. But because as a parent, you are the one who can draw boundaries for them. Their friends don't draw boundaries for them. It's your responsibility as a parent not to say you can do this, you can't do this. Right? So being a friendly parent is a good, but don't try to be friends with your children. That's a relationship that's not meant to be like that.
And I think teenage years are not that easy. I think kids are going through hormonal issues. They are going through their own probably peer pressures. They are going through a lot of other things. I think जो हम शायद overlook कर देते हैं या neglect कर देते हैं. And I think it's a big mistake as parents which we are doing. तो आपके हिसाब से आप अगर parents को कुछ एक advice देना चाहते हैं to deal with their teenagers, in simple words, what will be your best advice to the parents of teenagers?
I would say that it's not like just because they are teenagers they don't need their parents. उनका जो peer group है उसका influence ज़्यादा होने लगता है. As a child, your influence of the parent goes a graph like this. But once they come into the teenage level, your graph goes down like this. And peer influence increases. But it doesn't mean that they don't need their parents. They need their parents very much. Right? But they need somebody who is supportive to them, emotionally supportive to them, who helps them to flower up into their own personality. I would always tell this to the parents, don't try to sculpt your child. You're not a sculptor. Be a gardener. A gardener just creates an environment for the particular seed of the plant to bloom. I don't know what my child is. Right? What potentials does he carry? I don't know. But if I decide I will sculpt him, then it's a huge challenge you're taking. And it could also cause a problem for the child because he doesn't want to be sculpted in that particular manner. So he is a seed for you. So can I just create an environment, whatever the soil needed, watering, nurturing is needed, right, in that way, and help the child to reach his own potential. So be a gardener, don't be a sculptor. That's
क्योंकि ambition जब बच्चे लेते हैं अपनी लाइफ में, they want to become something, तो pressures उसके साथ जुड़ के आते हैं. जैसे for example, NEET का पेपर लीक हुआ, many children committed suicide क्योंकि many thought I may not be able to perform again. Some thought कि मेरा last attempt था, अब मैं क्या करूँ इसके बाद. So it was very sad to read why those kids took their lives. So do you think कहीं ना कहीं system गलत हो रहा है इन बच्चों के साथ, हम डील करना नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं, समवेयर ओवरऑल एनवायरनमेंट समवेयर इज़ गोइंग, क्या गलत हो रहा है जो इतने टेंडर एज में बच्चे अपनी लाइफ ले रहे हैं, सुसाइड कर रहे हैं फॉर नॉट स्कोरिंग मार्क्स फॉर दैट मैटर, या बॉयफ्रेंड गर्लफ्रेंड इश्यूज़ हो गए, या इसको आप लेके क्या आप सजेस्ट करेंगे टू द टीनेजर्स टुडे कि हाउ टू डील विद दीज प्रेशर्स?
Yeah, see basically when we look at this teenage suicides and all, I would say that this is a very complicated issue here, right? एक क्या होता है कि मीडिया या पेपर में दे ऑल लाइक टू गिव वन सिंपल रीजन व्हाई ही डिड व्हाट ही डिड. इसके पीछे दिल बी लेयर्स ऑफ स्टफ अवेलेबल टू अस. व्हाट यू सी इज द ट्रिगर, right? उसके पीछे there is a layer that comes in. Most of the time, again, when we look at suicides, we say some suicides are impulsive and some suicides are premeditated. है ना? तो impulsive का मतलब क्या आता है? कल तक नहीं सोचा था. At this moment he took that thing and he did it. But otherwise, many suicides are thought over, right? The ideation happens many times, right? कि this is the end for me, right? Whatever has come for that level. So when I look at it, I always think that when somebody takes their own life, it is the unbearable pain for them. Suicide is not about courage. Suicide is not about being a coward. People always put that into two things. ये हिम्मत चाहिए.
It's very important to talk about
right?
this.
ये हिम्मत चाहिए या तो ये what do you call बुज़दिली? Is that what coward is? Right? Is that this? It's neither of that. Right? It's a cry of pain. Right? A person went to such absolute level of pain.
Like he reached the end of the cliff.
And he didn't see any other alternative. Right? The child didn't see any other alternative. So, should parents be blamed for this? No.
But are there red flags that parents can probably look into? हो सकता है बच्चा कुछ ऐसे hints दे रहा हो over the period of time जो शायद parents कोई read नहीं कर पाया and the child just went ahead with what he thought.
No, sometimes we can see that, but many times in spite of knowing somebody very well, I can't make out what's going on in their head. To think that we miss those red flags, sometimes yes. But I would say that, blaming the parents for everything that has happened around here is not the way to go around it.
How true, actually.
It's never really the way to go around it. Parents have never intended for their child to
End this way.
End this way. I mean, it's one of the worst things that can happen to a parent is to lose their child to death this way.
Agreed.
Right? And that's not what the parents' intention is. No parents wants that. Right? To think that, parents ka responsibility hai, I mean, it's nice to blame somebody. We all need somebody to blame for everything. But the thing is too complicated. It's too layered. Right? I know of parents who have put zero pressures on their child, but sometimes the child himself puts pressures on himself. The parents has very clearly told the child, I don't care if you don't get the IIT part of it. Right? If you don't want to do it in an ordinary college, it's fine. No, I want to do it in IIT.
Self-pressure,
Self-pressure.
self-inflicted
So
pressures.
where did this come from?
Peer pressure?
Possible, or some other influence? Right? So to think that, it's the parents who have pressurized the child into things, not all parents pressurize their child into performing. Yes, some parents are there like that.
How true.
But to blame somebody for the child suicide and say, I want to pin the blame on somebody, right? Especially for a child suicide on the parents, it's one of the worst things that you can ever do.
But then don't you think, Sridhar, कि जैसे स्कूल में मैथ्स पढ़ाते हैं, साइंस पढ़ाते हैं, जियोग्राफी पढ़ाते हैं, हिंदी पढ़ाते हैं, साइकोलॉजी क्यों नहीं पढ़ाई जाती? Why can't they start early in the age कि फ्रॉम द किंडरगार्टन लेवल उनके लेवल का जो साइकोलॉजी है उनको तब सिखाना चाहिए? डू यू थिंक ये इनकॉर्पोरेट होना चाहिए एट द लेवल ऑफ स्कूल्स? बिकॉज आई डोंट थिंक आई हैव सीन एनीवेयर. एक लाइफ स्किल्स नाम का एक सब्जेक्ट इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है, once a week or once or twice 15 days में हो जाता है, but I don't think it's enough.
It's not
You think
enough.
it should be part of the curriculum?
But at least I'm glad that they've started that. The life skills part, each grading according to whatever is the
Me
age
too, me
appropriate
too.
level.
Yes.
They've started it off, which is a good thing, right? Can it be made more? I would always say that, the first couple of years in a school should be devoted to only two things. Understanding language, different languages, and understanding a bit of whatever the human mind or kind of the psychology or the emotions at a lower level, how to regulate your emotions. Right? Can
How
we
to
teach
regulate
children how to
emotions.
regulate your emotions?
It boils down to that.
It boils down to that. Finally, we can handle all our problems if we know how to handle the emotions around the problem.
So true.
So if I'm becoming anxious about something, suppose I'm able to reduce my anxiety, then I can look at a problem and say, हाँ ये problem को मैं कैसे solve करूँ? Because your emotions get entangled with your problem, you're not able to segregate them, you're not able to separate them. Fair enough. But can I at least learn to regulate my emotions?
आई थिंक ये सिर्फ बच्चों का स्ट्रगल नहीं है श्रीधर, ये हम एडल्ट्स का भी स्ट्रगल
सबका
है.
वही- सबका वही
We
struggle
all
है
are
ना.
struggling with regulating our emotions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
तो इसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए कोई ऐसा कुछ आप एक दे सकते हैं मंत्र कि what should a person do to regulate his emotions? ऐसा first step क्या होना चाहिए?
I'll tell you about anxiety, for instance. Right? Anxiety is an emotion that we're constantly thinking about the future, or many people को क्या होता है कि they begin to overthink about a problem, and what we call as a loop thinking चलता है. जैसे हम लोग songs को एक loop में सुनते हैं, वैसे हमारे thoughts में भी एक loop चलता है कि यहाँ से शुरू हुआ, it goes all the way, it again comes back, it goes all the way, it comes back. So people really struggle with that loop thinking part of it, right? So one of the techniques that I have taught many people is very simple, right? Let me ask you, Amrit, this. What is your language of thinking?
Emotion?
No, what is your language of thinking? किस language में सोचते हैं आप यहाँ?
Hindi?
Hindi,
English?
right? Most of the time, let us say your
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
is in Hindi.
Yes.
Right? So, you are very fluent in worrying in Hindi.
Yes.
Right? बहुत fluently आप worry कर सकते हैं हिंदी में, है ना? तो my thing is, most of us Indians can speak more than one language. Most of us are bilingual, most of us know more than two languages. So I would always say one of the simplest way to stop your overthinking or to handle your anxiety is change the language of thinking in your brain.
Wow. I should overthink in French.
If you know French, start thinking.
Wow,
मैं ये
amazing.
कहता हूँ कि you should tell yourself, next 10 minutes I'll think in Hindi. If that's not your language. For instance, I can speak 5 languages. Right? English, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil and Telugu. I can speak all the 5 languages. So if ever it happens to me at the point, right, where I'm beginning to overthink about something, I'll tell myself, next 10 minutes I'm going to think only in Kannada. Because my default language is English. My brain can be very fluent in overthinking in English. So I tell myself, no, even when I'm walking, let's say I'm taking an evening walk, I tell myself, from this end of the park to that end of the park, I think only in Kannada. That end to that end, I'll think only in Tamil. Right? That end to that end, only in Telugu. 30 minutes I've spent none without having to worry about something. And it's also a form of meditation.
Wow, amazing.
It's also a form of meditation for you.
But overthinking का कोई इलाज है?
है ना? The moment you change your language, you'll struggle to think. अब आप ब्रेन को
मतलब
बोलो
वर्ड्स
कि
ही नहीं मिलेंगे.
आपको वोकैबुलरी नहीं मिलता है, फ्लुएंसी नहीं मिलती है ना. एंड सपोज यू आर द पर्सन, लेट्स से यू आर आर्ग्यूइंग विथ योर मॉम इन हिंदी, आई से स्विच द लैंग्वेज, यू कांट आर्ग्यू विथ योर मॉम इन इंग्लिश.
So true.
आता ही नहीं है ना, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट यूज्ड टू दैट काइंड ऑफ ए थिंग.
Yes.
सो स्विच द लैंग्वेज ऑफ थिंकिंग हियर, स्विच द लैंग्वेज ऑफ वरी, स्विच द लैंग्वेज ऑफ एंग्जाइटी इन योर ब्रेन. इट्स द क्विकेस्ट वे टू हैंडल योर एंग्जाइटी instantly.
This is, I think, by far one of the best advice I have heard, because you know, I can only think of, say, my mother. Like I'm Punjabi, so my mother speaks in Punjabi to me, and I respond to her in Hindi. ये हमारा बचपन से, because of, you know, we have stayed in different states or whatever, that reasons have been. If I see my mother talking to me in English, I can't imagine her scolding me in English.
Exactly.
I'll only imagine her scolding me in Punjabi. And me responding in this thing, you know. So this really made a lot of sense to me. Amazing, great advice.
Nice.
Great advice. So now coming to the conclusion to our podcast, we have had a variety of discussion, you know. And आप as a counselor, जितने आपने cases अभी तक देखे हैं, क्या आपने कोई common pattern notice किया है in all the cases कि एक चीज़ बड़ी common होती है इन सब में? Anything that you have noticed?
Most of it comes down to a relationship issue.
Relationships.
राइट. हम लोगों को ना सिर्फ एक ही प्रॉब्लम होता है दूसरों से.
But we can't survive without that.
We can't survive without that. We need relationships.
We are social animals.
We need relationships, and our maximum happiness comes from relationships. Our meaning to life comes from relationships. Our maximum misery also comes from relationships. है ना. तो important thing क्या है ना, to understand that this is my relationship. ये relationship मुझे essential है. ये relationship मुझे essential नहीं है. Success in relationship does not mean that, you know, I get along with everybody in this world. I don't have to. I can say that, you know, I can get along with these people. With these people, I'll keep them at an arm's distance because I cannot handle relationship with them. With these people, it is high by, right? रिश्तेदार भी होंगे, कोई भी होंगे. Clarity होना चाहिए कि ये रिश्तों को कहाँ हम लोग place करना चाहिए. ये these people are my well wishers, so I'll be very free with them. These people are not my well wishers, all right? So I'll keep them at a distance. So success in relationship is not being successful in every relationship that you have. Success in relationship is discriminating now which relationships you want to have to which level. कहाँ कितना डीप चाहिए आपको रिलेशनशिप में. इसको यहाँ पे लगाओ, इसको यहाँ पे लगाओ, काफ़ी है.
मतलब you have to know किसको किस नंबर पे रखना है, and accordingly spend your energy on them.
Time and energy on them. No, don't kind of think that, you know, I have to love everybody in this world. Everybody has to love me in this world. वो होता नहीं है.
ये भी प्रेशर्स के साथ लोग जीते हुए देखे हैं मैंने. Who want to just make up with everybody and keep. सबके साथ अच्छा रखना है. जबकि आप उससे खुश नहीं हो, उससे खुश नहीं हो, बट फिर भी आपको सबके साथ बना के रखनी है. These are the pressures of the society, mainly I would say to the woman more.
Right?
Men are more chill about it. Yeah. They don't mind not talking to my extended mommy or chachi, but then I have to maintain that because, you know, this is how cultural pressures are there.
Cultural pressures on women are very different from cultural pressures on men.
Yeah.
And that need to kind of be सबके साथ मेरा whatever you call, you know, I have to be loving and hugging everybody in this world. It's not practical.
This is beautiful.
So understand, you know, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, who is nice for you, be nice to them. Right? People who are not nice to you, okay, you can be courteous to them, polite with them, hi bye करो. दो किसके साथ 2 सेंटेंस बात करने हैं वहाँ 2 सेंटेंस बात करो. किसके साथ 2 वर्ड्स बात करने हैं वहाँ 2 वर्ड्स बात करो. You will be at peace, they will be at peace.
Beautiful, lovely. Towards the end, I have a rapid fire round with you, and I would like to ask you questions, and I would like you to quickly think. But before I hit on to the rapid fire, एक question मेरा unresolved है इस वक्त. Forgiveness. लाइफ में काफ़ी सिचुएशंस होती हैं. वी मीट लॉट ऑफ पीपल, सम पीपल हैव हर्ट अस. किसी ने फिजिकली, किसी ने मेंटली, किसी ने इमोशनली. कहीं ना कहीं ज़िंदगी में बंदा क्रॉस हुआ हमारा, एंड वी हैव बीन हिट. कई लोग कहते हैं यार फॉरगिव एंड फॉरगेट एंड मूव ऑन विद योर लाइफ. आपके हिसाब से इज़ इट ईजी टू फॉरगिव, एंड इफ़ इट इज़ ईजी टू फॉरगिव, डू यू थिंक इट विल सस्टेन लॉन्गर आफ्टर फॉरगिविंग अ सर्टन पर्सन? फॉरगिवनेस को लेके आप क्या बताना चाहेंगे?
I would say that, you know, we should not use forgiveness lightly in our life. The person who has been very deeply hurt by the other person, physical abuse हुआ, mental abuse हुआ, humiliation हुआ, तो वो चोट इतना गहरा है, वहाँ पे don't try to force forgiveness on people. आप forgiveness उन पे मत थोपना है ना. तो don't try to kind of shove forgiveness down people's throats. Right? Forgiveness का मतलब क्या है? I do not carry anger with this person anymore. That's the definition of forgiveness.
It's my peace.
Right? I'm not angry with them anymore. That is what forgiveness is all about. That I'm not holding anger against them. I'm saying it that you can always hold some anger against people as long as it's not debilitating your life. अरे किसी पे थोड़ा सा गुस्सा है, आपका जिंदगी से उसमें कुछ फर्क नहीं हो रहा है, बट आई डोंट हैव टू गो एंड मेक इट अप विद देम. आई डोंट हैव टू से मैं किसी से के साथ भी मेरे को नाराजगी नहीं है. None of us have to be that saintly kind of a person where I have to say that I don't have to have anger with anybody in this world. Yeah, small cheese तो most of us are very forgiving. When you look at day to day life, all of us are mostly forgiving. छोटे छोटे चीज़ों को हम लोग सोचते भी नहीं है. बट जहाँ गहरा चोट है ना, वहाँ पे डोंट ट्राई टू फोर्स फॉरगिवनेस ऑन पीपल.
Then how do you deal with that emotional distress that a person is going through? If somebody is going through without forgiving, living with that kind of an emotion still, उसको कैसे फिर आप regulate करेंगे?
I would say that can we channelize that forgiveness? Can we channelize that anger into something positive for you? What has that anger blocked you from doing? For instance, I had a relationship, let us say somebody comes and says, I had a relationship with this person, टूट गया, तो बहुत गुस्सा है मेरे को. I said, what has that prevented you from doing? He thinks for a moment and says, it's prevented me from getting into other relationships. I said, can we kind of move towards other relationship? So generally what I do is I look at what has that anger prevented them from doing. And I try to move them towards that part of it. वो जब हो जाता है ना, तो ये एंगर अपने आप कम हो जाता है. तो has he come to the state of forgiveness? Yes, but not directly forgiving. Right? आप वो एंगर को चैनलाइज कर लिए into something more positive. Like for instance, somebody would have been very angry with their parent because the parent prevented them from studying. I said, why don't you study now? Right? She goes and gets her degree done, master's done, and says, yeah, I'm angry with my dad, but it doesn't affect me anymore. हो गया ना, अब you have reached that level of not having anger against your dad. But if I say forgive your dad, you feel like I can't forgive him. अब उसके ऊपर मेरे को guilt भी है कि I'm not able to forgive him. So why make it like that? No, forgiveness should never be forced on people, especially if the hurts are very deep. Leave it. Help them to move ahead now in spite of forgiveness.
I think half the world is struggling with this.
Because they've got the wrong concept in their head that forgiveness के बिना कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. मैं तो कहता हूँ कि if there's a debris of anger left, no, let that debris of anger be left. It's like a coal, no, that can be fueled into something else.
Forgive and forget doesn't.
Anger is a very powerful emotion. It's a very motivating emotion.
उसको channelize करना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Channelize करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Anger by itself is not wrong. Anger is the emotion of change. आपकी ज़िंदगी में जो भी चेंज आया ना, काफ़ी चेंज एंगर से आता है. क्या मुझसे गुस्से हैं, इसलिए नाराज़ है, सोसाइटी से नाराज़ है, सिस्टम से नाराज़ है.
Make something better
out of it. So use your anger as a motivation tool.
What a lovely discussion. Sridhar, I have a rapid fire for you. So kindly give me, just without thinking much, just give me the first answer you think of. So, okay, I'll start. IQ या EQ?
First EQ and then IQ.
Okay. Therapy या meditation?
Therapy with meditation.
Okay. Love या respect?
Respectful love.
Okay. Happiness या peace?
First, peace is easier to achieve. Right? Once you achieve peace, then you can look for happiness.
It automatically will come.
It will automatically come because peace is like, accepting things around you for what they are. Happiness comes only from a specific outcome. Right? And that's very difficult. Whereas peace is easier to achieve.
एक हैबिट जो हर इंसान को अडॉप्ट करनी चाहिए?
Being more optimistic about life. Right? Like I said, don't get carried away with the news that you see. It's always negative.
Look at the positive side.
Look at the positive and also have a perspective कि ये फुल सर्कल में कितना न्यूज़ ऐसा है कि इतने लोग नीट अप्लाई किए, कितने लोग को प्रॉब्लम हुआ, कितने लोगों को प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ. जो प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ वो तो बहुत बड़ा है ना. Things have into perspective is very important. Don't mistake the part for the whole.
One myth about counseling.
That we can understand the person without all the secrets of their life. Now, if they just come and sit in front of us, not necessarily true.
How many sessions generally it takes for you to understand a person before you start?
We understand them throughout the session. No, it's not like one session goes into understanding and the next session. Every session we get different aspects of their personality while we talk to them.
Each session is a new.
Each session is a new. It's like an unraveling of their personality with us.
एक रिलेशनशिप जो सबसे पहले हील करनी चाहिए?
With your parents.
With your parents. Wow. And एक सेंटेंस जो हर इंसान रोज सुबह खुद से कहे. First thing in the morning.
Today I'll try to do something that's comfortable for me, impactful for me, around people. That's something that brings me joy. I'll always say that early morning is such an important time. Now, if you can spend the first half an hour for yourself, it will be a great thing. Whether you do exercise, whether you go for a walk, whether you sit with a book, whether you listen to music. Start the day now with half an hour for yourself. you'll have an amazing day.
ब्यूटीफुल. इनफैक्ट आपने कुछ कहा था रिगार्डिंग द प्री फ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स 25 साल तक डेवलप नहीं होता है. बिफोर वी पार्ट एंड बिफोर वी एंड दिस पॉडकास्ट, एक छोटा सा ऑन दैट, कैन यू जस्ट टॉक अबाउट?
Yeah, basically the prefrontal cortex is a part of the brain that starts developing the moment a person hits a teenage. वहाँ से शुरू होता है, and that part is needed for a person to think logically, reason out things, and most important, long-term consequences of your action. When we look at teenagers, we think that, क्यों नहीं कर सकता है, क्यों नहीं कर सकता है, I can understand, why can't he understand? He can't because he doesn't have the brain. If I don't have a hand, you will understand that, no, he doesn't have a hand, so that's why he's not able to do it. This is something that you can't see.
It's invisible hand.
It's invisible, right? So you're thinking, why can't my son think logically? Why can't he think long-term consequences? He just doesn't have the apparatus to think about it. So be nice to him,
So
be
be
compassionate
kind to
with him.
people,
Be kind to
teenagers.
people, yeah. Be
Yeah.
kind to them, be compassionate with them, understand their limitations, and still try to work around that. Let them come to that age of 25, 30, now when the prefrontal cortex is fully developed, they are a different kind of a human
मतलब
being.
लॉजिकल थिंकिंग 25 साल के बाद एक इंसान बेटर सोच सकता
बेटर सोचता है, लॉन्ग टर्म कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज बेटर सोचता है, रैशनैलिटी समझ में आती है, बिकॉज द पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रेन दैट इज नीडेड फॉर दैट इज डेवलप्ड.
है. वाओ.
Until then, your teenager doesn't have that capacity to think long-term consequences.
I think it's the most pressurized I think age group.
Exactly.
Teenagers.
We think they are half adults. Sometimes we treat them as adults. Sometimes we treat them as children.
Yeah, right.
Right? And they're totally confused. कभी बोलते हैं कि बच्चों के साथ बड़ों के बात में क्यों आते हो?
हाँ.
And कभी लगता है कि अभी बच्चे हो क्या? You don't know where does it start?
Oh, wow. With that, I would like to really thank you, Sridhar, for coming to this podcast and for talking about such varied topics and itna candidly with such open heart, and to be able to advise our audience जो भी आज ये podcast देख रहा है, I'm sure you have definitely taken back something for yourself from this podcast, and thank you so much once again. आज की conversation से अगर एक बात समझ आती है तो वो ये है कि mental strength का मतलब emotions को छुपाना नहीं है, बल्कि उन्हें समझना और सही तरीके से हैंडल करना है. मुझे यकीन है कि आज की डिस्कशन बहुत से लोगों को खुद को और अपने लव्ड वन को थोड़ा और बेहतर समझने में मदद करेगी. अगर इस कॉन्वर्सेशन का कोई भी हिस्सा आपको रिलेटेबल लगा या आपको लगा कि किसी और को भी ये सुनना चाहिए, तो इस एपिसोड को ज़रूर शेयर कीजिए. वीडियो पसंद आए तो इसे लाइक ज़रूर कीजिए, अपने थॉट्स कमेंट में लिखिए, और अगर आपने अभी तक इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो शी स्लेस को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा. मैं हूं कैप्टन अमृत और मैं आपसे फिर मिलूंगी एक नए एपिसोड में. तब तक जय हिंद, जय भारत.